So I think the biggest misperception about distributed denial of service is that this is a network problem, that it is only a network problem. And the truth of the matter is it's a very complicated issue, right? Yes, volumetric packet floods are going to overwhelm a circuit on the internet, and so I need to deal with that at the upstream network layer before it floods my pipe. Yeah, sure, that's true. But actually it's a lot more complicated than that, right? So we have these very large distributed botnets, right? And that's typically the source of the packets that are creating that flood. But we also have other threats. These same networks are used not just for DDoS campaigns, but for other malware campaigns as well, for advanced threats, right? And so understanding the nature of the attack infrastructure and the compromised host on the internet is going to give us a more complete picture to deal with these other threats as well. And in fact, when we look at DDoS itself, we know that the modern attacks are not simply comprised of single streams of packet floods or multiple streams and 30,000 hosts, whatever. But we know that they're also doing these very stealthy attacks. They're attacking at the application layer. So I may have a 1 gig circuit to the internet, but I could send a 1 meg stream of traffic that's crafted to exhaust the resources on the server, and I could take that server down without coming anywhere near filling up the pipe. So the idea here is, from an attacker's perspective, is I'm going to fly low under the radar. I'm still going to take out your services, but you're not going to see it. It's going to be harder to see at the network level because it's not filling up that pipe, right? And I could do the same with a state exhaustion attack, right? I might even take out infrastructure in between my victim and the circuit, right? So I'm flying under the radar, I'm coming through the router across your internet connection, still small enough that you don't notice it, right? But then I do state exhaustion attacks that are taking out things like firewalls and load balancers, and then once they're down, everything behind them is out, right? So, these attacks are getting much more complex, and I think that assumption that it's all about the volumetric flood or it's all the network operator's problem is probably the biggest misconception. And this is something that every organization has to pay attention to now, and they have to have solutions in place that can deal with these types of attacks, and they also have to be working with their network operators in order to have a complete solution.